Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a KV-2. It's the Tier 6 Soviet heavy tank. It's located on the south spawn of mines and it's under the command of dmgd. And we're continuing our Derp coronavirus special. A weekend of Derp, or at least a Sunday full of Derp for you to all enjoy. Well, some of you do. It's always fun watching little tanks get absolutely knackered by a big heavy gun. Well, this one is a 152mm howitzer mounted in a big turret on top of a KV-1 hull. The KV-2, designed to knock down the bunkers on the Mannerheim line. Now, let's see how much damage he can do to the enemy. It's going straight up the hill to deal with the guys in the centre. It's a Tier 6 battle, he's top tier. Let's see how he gets on. As you can see, we've made a few changes to the Derp coronavirus tank. Yes, well, coronavirus was made in China. Okay, well, first target's going to be a Lux, I think. But he's taking it off auto aim. Okay, he's going for the gap. Who can he shoot through the gap? Oh! Oh, that didn't work! He actually fired the round through the gap, but it hit the rock wall and exploded prematurely. Okay, he's not loaded yet. Takes 23 seconds. Oh, unfortunately his platoon mate, no, his teammate there, rather, in the T6 medium, just met a nasty death at the hand of an SU-100. So it looks like he's going to have to be careful. Well, there's the Leopard gone. He derped him with one shot. But we now know there's an SU-100 at the back there. And he ought not to pull out when he hasn't got a shell in the breech. Because if he does, I think he might end up taking a round. But he can use this wreck to provide some cover against the enemy tanks. And the Matilda's firing at the wreck at the moment. But that SU-100, yes, that's what I was fearing. He was going to aim his shell at specific weak spots. And he just put a round right through the turret. In fact, you can see right through the side of the turret. But that's not going to stop our friend here from firing. But I think you can see that the round actually hit the barrel before it went through the side of the turret. DMGD is used to this sort of action. He's got one mark on his barrel, so he's obviously used to playing this tank. And the Matilda takes a round for 343. Unfortunately, the turret to that T6 is lying nearby, and turrets can actually be a bit of a problem, because wargaming has a bit of a problem with physics. If you roll over a turret, sometimes it actually causes some unique effects, including sending a tank right up into the air. Well, he fired a blind shot in the direction of the enemy, but it didn't work. T-28 fired at him and bounced around off for 110. And you can see a couple of the rounds have bounced off the side of the turret, and I think those were the Matilda. Still only the one kill. Now, he might try shooting through the gap again. But no, it looks like he's decided, instead of actually going up to the centre, he can actually take out that 40 TP over on the middle island. He's turning around just to see if anybody was actually going to fire at him as he was on the move. Yeah, I think he's going to go around and see if he can get that 40 TP. The turret on the KV-2 does turn very slowly, but it's a very heavy weight actually. In fact, during actual action, they couldn't fire the gun if the tank wasn't on a level basis, because otherwise the damage that would be done to the turret ring by the recoil of that 152mm howitzer, it would really screw things up for the crew. In fact, frequently these tanks took damage. And the 40 TP habitual is no more. Frequently these tanks would take damage in the gearbox and the engines because they just weren't up to pushing around such a heavy weight. If I remember correctly, the KV-2 weighs in at 50 tons. It's not 50, it's 40, but it's certainly a lot anyway. Okay, well, he's now got sight of the enemy rear, and there's a Matilda. Okay, line it up ahead. That's it. Good shot. That's his third kill. You just need a little lead on the target. Arty do that all the time. Okay, that T-28 hiding behind the rock, but unfortunately there are some enemies further off, and the Matilda just put around through the side of us. In fact, that one went through the... You can see where the driver's ports are. And that's the weak spot on a KV-1, and that's where the shell went in. So he was aiming for a weak spot specifically. T-28's below the ridgeline, so we can't get him, but that Marder 38 is going to try again. And the IKV, well, hit us in the tracks, and this time round he actually got us for 258. In fact, there are two IKVs, an IKV-103 and the IKV-65-2, and that's got a 90mm gun. Okay, well, he's locked onto a T6 over there, but I don't think he can hit that guy. If you're wondering about the skin, by the way, you can actually apply this skin to your own KV-2. There's a link in the description where you can download it, and also instructions on how to apply it to your vehicle. It was created by Sir Rusty and his talented daughter Jazz. They create a lot of skins for World of Tanks players, and they can take custom orders if you want to get a specific one to your specifications. Okay, we've got some company now. That's going to be useful. Well, there's the SU-100. Now, can we get a shot? Long range. Probably just... Nope. It went over the top. And the Matilda's gone. Killed by the IKV-65-2 again. Well... I say again, actually, it's the only kill by the IKV-65-2, but yes, he has been having some luck firing at the tanks on this side, and it looks like that T6 is trying to come down to the gap, so we might be able to get a shot on him too. There's a gap between the rocks there. Well, looks like he's decided he's going to go up either by the centre or around the east side of the map. I'd be very tempted to go the east side of the map because it would put these guys in a bit of a crossfire from the Stug on one side and him on the other. Oh, and the enemy Marder has gone into the castle grounds. That's going to make a bit of a problem. It's now 3 versus 5, and he does have position, and that Panzer T-25 looks to be AFK, because he's just sitting there with his turret facing the wrong way. And of course the Marder will have him for breakfast. So yeah, we're about to become 2 tanks, I think, rather than 3. T6 poking his nose out. We've locked on. I aim for the front. That's it. And that's the end of him. He should have realised that there's a blast radius to these shells. It's 3.66 meters, which means that if you can land a shell anywhere near the enemy tank, you're actually going to do damage to it in terms of splash. But if you can actually hit the target, then you can do a huge amount of damage, and a weak tank like that is going to be easily penetrated. Well, he's taking the risk of going into the castle grounds, and that Marder's about to die. We lost the Skoda, but he's now lost the Marder. So now it's 2 against 3. We lost our Stug, actually, not the Panzer T25. The IKV-103 went up onto the island. Well, he's just bounced around from an SU-100, and there he is, and there he was. And that's a really good kill. That is the most dangerous of all the enemies, and effectively it's probably earned him a steel wall. The only 2 remaining now, the IKV-65-2 and the IKV-103. He's got a top gun. If he can kill the last 2, he will get a Radley's. Well, there's the IKV-103. The foot of the hill. Panzer T25's down. He did actually come back to life, but only briefly. The IKV is just at the base of the hill. If we go down to the base, he will proxy spot us. If we go out to the edge, rather. If we turn around and come out this way, he's going to get a nasty surprise. But mind you, he's probably coming up to meet us. Yes, he is. And now... Oh, he mucked that one up, but he's got a reprieve because the round bounced. Looks like it hit the lower plate. The IKV didn't try to come up whilst he was in the reload. He could have done that so easily. DMGD has only got 180 hit points left, and now he's trying to side scrape on the IKV. If this works, he will get the kill. Yes, he can. Yes! Nice. All he needed to see was just the side of the vehicle, and that was enough. And there's the IKV, and he's behind him. He must get in and turn around this corner. Yes, he's safe. But the IKV is coming for him, not the other way round, so all he needs to do is turn around, side scrape on this corner, and the IKV, well, he's driving into danger. It'd be far better for him if he was to ambush DMGD, but there you go, end of game. Radley Walters, well played. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for DMGD in the KV-2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 22 in this one. A duelist, a fire perfect, and a shell proof out of the minor medals. Out of the epic ones, he managed to get a Radley Walters Medal for killing 8 of the enemy, a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. Let's have a look at team scores. There you go, highest damage, 3,249 hit points. Next high scorer was that SU-100. I said he was the most dangerous enemy, 2,374 for him. He actually had the 122mm gun. You can tell that from the amount of damage he was doing when he bounced the shot. It was 390, so yes, he had the 122. The next high score after that was the M36 Jackson on his own team with 1,512. When it came to kills, it was DMGD again with 8 kills, 4 kills to the SU-100, 3 kills to the T6 Medium. And when it came to base XP, it was 1,494 for DMGD, 736 for the M36 Jackson, and T3485M managed to get 670. He fired 15 rounds, got 9 direct hits, 5 penetration, and 5 splash. damage of 3,249 hit points, of which 148 were at more than 300 meters, received 13 hits from the enemy, only 3 of which penetrated, but boy did they penetrate and do a lot of damage. 10 non-penetrations, and he blocked damage of 1,820 hit points in total. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 8 of the enemy, and on a free player count he earned 35,381 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 19,247 credits. He received 1,494 base XP, times 2 for the first victory, took away 2,988 experience points altogether. So a particularly successful game for Damage, but I think it's damaged in his initials. Yeah, it was a bit of an odd one that way, because he couldn't go, he wasn't getting any success the first time round up the centre, but he did seem to get some success the second time. I would have actually gone round to the east, because that was completely open, and the enemy really wouldn't have been expecting somebody to come around from that direction. But of course, if the enemy had taken the centre and the castle, then of course he would have been in trouble. And he did take the castle himself, and it was to good effect, because both the took out the SU-100, then that IKV, and then the other one. So it worked out well for him in the end. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. Stay home, stay safe, and derp coronavirus.